You ever walk into a place you once called home and feel like a stranger in your own memories? That's what hit me the second I stepped onto that sun-drenched porch in Austin. The same porch where I once shelled pecans with Grandpa, where laughter echoed like music, now eerily silent except for those wind chimes clinking like ghosts from the past. I hadn't been here in over a year, not by choice, but because I was told there was no one left to visit. But that was a lie. When Grandma opened the door, she didn't hug me, she hit me with a cold, steel-edged sentence. "So you finally decided to show up." My heart cracked. I had no idea what I had walked into. I tried to explain, but she shut me down with just a glance, like my voice didn't deserve space anymore. Then she dropped the bomb. Grandpa had died calling out my name, thinking I had abandoned him. And the number he'd been calling? It wasn't mine. My hands trembled as I read that old note. The ink faded, but the betrayal screaming loud. That wasn't my number. I had never changed it. They told her I had. They told her I didn't want to be bothered. They lied to her. They lied to me. I staggered, grabbed the porch railing like it could anchor me in the storm unraveling inside. Grandma's voice cracked as she whispered the funeral had already happened that morning. I had missed it. They told everyone I didn't care. My soul shattered. I dropped to my knees, buried my face in her lap, tears flooding every memory of the man who believed in me when no one else did. Then something in Grandma shifted, like an old flame reigniting. She wiped her tears and picked up the phone, her voice calm but fierce. "Betty, I need you, Jacob and Vanessa here in an hour. No excuses." And then she called the lawyer. There are things David left behind. Things that need to be read out loud. I didn't even breathe. I just nodded. When the doorbell rang, she told me to stay in the kitchen. I listened from behind the wall as voices floated in. Mom's fake cheer, Dad's tight smile, Vanessa's classic bored sigh. Then silence. Until Grandma spoke, her voice slicing through the room. "Please, everyone take a seat. Mr. Reeves is here to read David's will." That was my cue. When I walked in, every head snapped. Mom's smile died mid-performance. Dad's face drained of color. Vanessa's mouth hung open like she'd seen a ghost. Mr. Reeves opened his briefcase like he was about to reveal secrets the house itself had been holding on to. And then he read it. Grandpa left Grandma the house, and enough to live well. But then he said my name. He left me the lab, the research facility, the projects, the funding, the future. The air shifted. Dad sucked in a breath. Mom blinked hard. Vanessa exploded. "You gave her the lab, the whole facility." And it got worse for them. The rest of the estate was split between me and her. Vanessa stood up like she'd been slapped. "You said I'd get everything. You told me if I acted right." She paused, choking on the truth. "If I visited him, said the right things, you said it would all be mine." My heart dropped. She hadn't loved him. She'd performed for him. For the money. Then Grandma pulled out a letter. Folded. Yellowed at the edges. Grandpa's handwriting. Mr. Reeves read it aloud. And it wrecked me. "To my dearest Elena," it began. "If you're hearing this, I'm gone, but I need you to know, you were never ordinary. You were brilliance in its rawest form. They tried to dim it, but I saw you." Every sentence felt like a bomb and a blade. He remembered my first science experiment at 7. My regional competition, when they never showed up to. The trophy I hid under my bed, because their silence made me feel ashamed of my success. He remembered the time I cried behind the barn after Vanessa told me I'd never be pretty enough to matter. And he remembered how I kept going anyway. "That's why I built the lab for you," he wrote. "That's why I changed the will. You're not a mistake. You're a miracle they never deserved." I sobbed. And for once, I didn't hide it. Then Vanessa lost it. Why should she get anything? She wasn't even here. She disappeared for years. But I wasn't going to let her rewrite history. "You didn't love him," I said, steady now. "You visited for reward." I loved him even when I was locked out. Mom snapped, tried to shut me down. "Enough, Elena." But I had heard that tone my whole life. And I wasn't afraid of it anymore. Dad tried to talk finances. tried to say they paid for everything. But I reminded them, no, Grandpa did. Every plane ticket, every lab kit, every dream. All him. Then Mom said the ugliest thing of all. Vanessa needs this more than you. If you want to honor his memory, sign over your share. That's when Grandma stood.
Tall. Fierce.
How dare you, she said. You lied to him. Manipulated him. And now you want to speak of family? You used his final days for your gain. I only regret that David left you anything. Her voice was thunder. Get out. No one moved.
Now.
Vanessa stormed out first, heels cracking against wood. My parents followed, whispering about legal challenges. But they left. And for the first time, they couldn't take anything with them. Silence fell. But this time it was peace. It's been 6 years.
6 years since they walked out.
I never looked back. The lab Grandpa gave me? It became real. We built the Walter Dawson Innovation Center. We designed sustainable tech that helps real farmers survive climate change. I've stood on stages across the country. I've worn suits they said didn't fit me. I've spoken under spotlights without flinching. I lead a team now, people who believe in what we do. People who believe in me. And one day, while sorting old books in the lab library, I found a photo tucked in an ancient science book. Me at 8, crouched in grass. Grandpa beside me. We were smiling. On the back, in his neat, careful handwriting, it said, "My little scientist will change the world someday." And now I know, he was right. Subscribe if this hit your heart, because stories like this deserve to be heard. Speech balloon comment. I believe in the quiet ones if you know what it feels like to be overlooked. Loudspeaker, share this with someone who's ever felt like they didn't belong. They might just be the miracle no one saw coming.